back. So, in previous lecture, we discussed about the introductory part of geology, and today we are going to discuss about the mineralogy, which is the major branch of geology. This mineralogy, which deals with the study of various kinds of the minerals, especially their formation, occurrence, aggregation, and important one is the physical properties, which helps us to identify the mineral. And along with this, we have to study their uses, especially in the civil engineering. So, by definition, mineral is a naturally occurring solid homogeneous substance which has definite chemical composition, atomic structure, and formed by inorganic process. Minerals can be categorized as rock forming minerals and economic minerals. We know that rock is an aggregate of minerals. That is, when one or more minerals come together and form some mass or aggregation, that is called as the rock. Okay, so some minerals are only important for the formation of rocks, and such minerals can be categorized or grouped as the rock forming minerals for the systematic study. Some minerals are economically important. That means they can be directly utilized in the industries as a raw material, or from some minerals we can extract metals. Then that mineral is called as the ore. That means the mineral from which one or more metals can be extracted, then it is called as the ore or ore mineral. Then on the basis of their origin, primary minerals are the minerals which are formed at the time of formation of host rock, whereas secondary minerals, they forms after the formation of the host rock. Then after essential and accessory minerals, especially these terminologies are used in the igneous rocks, in the classification or in the nomenclature of the igneous rocks. In nomenclature of the igneous rocks, presence or occurrence of the some minerals is essential. Then those minerals can be categorized as essential. And another category, which is the accessory minerals, whose presence or absence doesn't affect on the nomenclature of the mineral rocks. For example, in granite, to say granite, there must be presence of orthoclase as well as the quartzite. Whereas mica or biotite, other ilmenite, other minerals are accessory whose presence or absence doesn't affect on the nomenclature of that particular rock. Then silicate and non-silicate. Then physical properties of the minerals are the very important, which helps to identify the minerals. Then mineral families or groups. So on the basis of similarities in the some physical features or some characteristic features, the minerals can be categorized into the different groups or we can say families for the systematic study. Then after, physical properties of the minerals includes characteristics which are used to identify and describe minerals. Minerals have distinguishing physical properties. Properties can be divided into the two distinct parts. That is, characteristics based on light, which includes color, streak, and luster. Then characteristics depending on the state of aggregation. These includes fracture, hardness, cleavage, and form. So let's see first property, that is color, which depends upon absorption or reflection of color vibrations. Example, green colored minerals reflects only green color vibrations and absorbs other color vibrations, whereas white color minerals reflects all color vibrations and absorbs none. And reverse is the in case of black color minerals. Then another property is the streak, that is the color of powder of mineral. There may be many time variation in the color and streak. The color of mineral may be different and its color of its powder form may be different. Then after, luster is the nature and amount of shine shown by mineral and or general appearance of the mineral, especially surface of the mineral to reflected light. Then after, let's see different types of the lusters, among which first one is the metal. The mineral shines like a metal. Example is of chalcopyrite, which is the ore of copper. Then submetallic refers to imperfect metallic luster. Example of it is magnetite. Then non-metallic lusters, Non-metal clusters are referred to as vitreous, which shines like a glass. Example of it is a quartz tourmaline. Then subvitreous, imperfect vitreous luster. Example is the calcite or protein. And resinous looks like a resin or gum. Example is the sphalerite, sulfur, and coal. Then another type of luster is the pearly, shines like a pearl. Example is the mica and kyanite. Then greasy appearance to be covered with a thin layer of thin layer of oil. That is, example is chalcedony. Then silky shines like a silk. Example is asbestos and gypsum. Then adamantine, which is brilliant luster like a diamond. Example is of corundum. Then dull minerals has practically no luster. That is bauxite. It looks earthy. Then another important physical property is the fracture, is the appearance of broken surface. If the mineral contains no planes of weaknesses, it will break along random directions. Okay, so it is the appearance of the broken surface, which is called as the fracture. So there are different types of the fractures like conchoidal fracture, subconchoidal fracture, Hagley, or the even and uneven. Conchoidal fracture breaks along smooth curve surface, whether it may be convex or concave, with the concentric circles. Example is of quartz. In subconchoidal fracture is the imperfect conchoidal fracture. Then Hagley fracture, in which broken surface shows fibrous or needle-like structure similar to the broken wood. Example is asbestos. Then earthy surface of which is powdery appearance. Example is the tall. Then even fracture, in which broken surface is smooth and flat. Example is agate. And uneven fracture, in which rough and irregular surface is there. Then another important property of this mineral is the hardness. It is the resistance offered by mineral towards the abrasion, and it can be determined by scratching the mineral with the another mineral or substances of known hardness. And there is a use of the hardness scale, which is called as the Mohs scale. Mohs is the name of scientist. He has prepared this the scale for the determination or measurement of the hardness of various minerals, in which there are 10 minerals which indicates their hardness by its number. For example, tall, which is having the hardness 1, then gypsum 2, calcite 3, and gypsum, of which hardness is 2, can be scratched by fingernail, even tall also, and up to the calcite, of which hardness is 3, the minerals can be scratched by the nail. Then after fluorite, of which hardness is 4, apatite 5, orthoclase 6, quartz 7, topaz 8, corundum 9, and diamond, of which hardness is the 10, which is the hardest mineral. So this scale is used for determination of the hardness of unknown metal. Then after another property is the cleavage, which is the tendency of mineral to break easily along the tectonic plane. And these cleavages are developed during the formation of the crystals, which contains planes of atoms along which bonding between the atoms is weaker than along the planes. Then these cleavages may be of one set, two set, or three sets. Cleavage planes shows maximum luster. Where there is a cleavage, it shows the maximum luster. So this is the very important property of mineral, which helps us to identify the mineral. Then another property is the form, which is the external appearance of the mineral. And there are two types of these forms basically, or we can say categories, that is crystal form and imitative form. So let's see imitative form. On the basis of their shape or morphology, the form may be defined. Say acicular form, mineral showing the needle-like or slender crystals. Example, natrolite. Likewise, amygdala form, in which almond-shaped cavities, basically these are in basic rocks, are filled with the secondary minerals. Example is the zeolite. Then bladed form, crystals are like a knife blade or laths. Example kyanite. Wateridal, which is globular bulb-like, columnar form, which is slender column-like crystals are there. Example is of corundum. Then dendritic form, in which developed in the fine cracks, that is cracks, or we can say joints or fractures. And when these are filled with the deposition of the Fe or Mn by groundwater. Example is the dendritic slate. Then fibrous form, minerals are separable in the fiber-like crystals. Likewise, there are foliated form, radiating, reniform, then after tabular, massive, and isolated. So these are the different types of the forms. So all these properties helps us to identify the mineral. So this is all about the physical properties of the minerals, and we will discuss in detail in next lecture. Thank you. Thank you very much.